Thank you so much for attending my presentation about competitive Pokemon's Chaos Demon, and first let's talk about its traits. This thing, for how drastic that title sounds, has a pretty poor stat line. There isn't a number above 91, which isn't great to say the least. 57 HP hurts its bulk badly, and it's not fast either, but that's where the negatives end. For typing, it probably has the best combination in the game. Steel Fairy is extremely powerful in every single way. Steel has 10 fucking resistances and perfectly complements Fairy. It's immune to the poison moves that normally hit for super effective damage and provides a steel neutrality, all around insane, and actually makes it difficult to get out the field. Finally, this is compounded further by its ability Prankster. This is amazing, as you probably know, giving all of its status moves priority. Those three things combine to make it deceptively annoying. You might look at that poor physical bulk or those mediocre attacking stats and think it's easy to stop, but you'd be dead wrong. There's three Klefki sets that we're going to talk about today, going from most chill to most insane. First are its hazard support builds. As odd as it sounds, Klefki is the only prankster Pokemon to have any access to any form of hazards. This thing gets spikes, which is amazing. This is one of the most consistent forms of setting in the entire game. It's essentially always going first, meaning you're getting one spike up at the very least. And if they're not able to take it down in one hit, which is difficult to do for most Pokemon, it'll be making your life even more difficult. But don't even think of trying to get cute and set up on it. Klefki is a few ways to fuck you over. The first is just by clicking a raw status move. This could be Toxic, at least before it was taken away, or Thunder Wave. Each do a good job at stopping sweeps. Alternatively, if you want to run something a bit weirder, try Toxic Orb. You won't get poisoned since you're a Steel type, and you've Prankster Switcheroo to give that to your opponent while taking their item. Leftovers, Life Orb, gone. Finally, if you want to negate one of your only two weaknesses, Magnet Rise can help. This makes you immune to ground moves for 5 turns, which can be really nice against Pokemon like Land or Asterion who don't have a way to cleanly hit it otherwise. Screen support, while enabling more fucked up stuff than the hazard builds, aren't as inherently flashy. 2 of your move slots and your item slot are automatically filled, going to your screens and the light clay, extending their duration. However, things aren't totally dry. This is where Fairy Lock, one of the most interesting moves in the game, comes to play. Fairy Lock does one thing: prevent either player from switching the next turn. This might sound really stupid. Why would Klefki like to use this? Well, it is one very important use case, providing guaranteed momentum. What this basically does, at least against some Pokemon, is force them to knock you out. Then you get to send in a Pokemon that can take advantage of those screens while not being threatened by the opposing Pokemon. It only really works when Klefki is at low health and really just against some monsters, but when you can pull it off, the rewards are huge. Getting even one free turn of setup behind screens is crazy valuable, possibly even more if Klefki set up another Fairy Lock on the turn it went down. While not easy to execute, it helps to enable some of the insane shenanigans that screens are known for. This last idea is by far the least common for one specific reason: it's fucking banned in standard play. It turns out that, in Anything Goes, Klefki is a monster. And I don't mean like, oh, it's pretty good. No, it's nuts. Here's the top Pokemon in Gen 6 Anything Goes in order: Arceus, Mega Rayquaza, Xerneas, Primal Groudon, Darkrai, Klefki. Do you see any outliers? Safe to say this thing is great, but why? Well, it runs Swag Play, a notorious strategy. You use Swagger, which raises the opponent's attack by 2 stages, then confusing them. After this, you can use Foul Play, which now has huge power as it uses the opponent's increased attacking stat, and when combined with the Confusion self-hit chances and Thunder Wave, using attacks is pretty damn difficult. If you want to make this combo even more devastating, consider Double Team or Substitute. Now you're never getting hit. There were some other secondary move choices if you didn't want to lean fully into this strategy, namely the aforementioned spikes and screens, but Swag Play was still present on all of them. This gave some really weird Pokemon niches in the tier, notably Numel. It's a ground type with Oblivious, meaning it's immune to both Swagger and Thunder Wave. It's bad everywhere else though, so was not really seen. Still pretty funny though. In conclusion, Klefki is a wild Pokemon. It has a ton of options to choose from when making a set, ranging from pure support to serious offensive problem. This thing haunts my nightmares. Thank you so much for watching.